Afternoon, students. Welcome you all for the session today. This is the first session. We are hosting it for the IGCSE students for this year. And Numerical Analytics Instruments Private Limited, we are the distributors for Texas Instruments Calculator. And we have been coordinating with many IB and IGCSE schools for supplying this calculator. And also, as part of our offer, we also conduct this training for IGCSE and IB students. So this week, 3 to 4, we are going to have for IGCSE students. And we are planning to have the sessions every week, maybe alternative weeks also we'll have it based on the number of students joining. And we have our trainer today. She's one of the math head of the department in one of the schools, IB schools called Srinidhi International School, which is in Hyderabad. And our trainer today, the teacher name is Monica. And I have my colleague Hasan with me. Students can raise your hands because we have put the students in mute. So if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the chat column or the question answer sessions part, and we will keep answering for all the questions. We will have a separate question answer session after Ms. Monica presents the complete questions, and we'll also have 10 or 15 minutes for the question answers. You can even at that time we'll unmute you and you can ask your questions. Okay. Until during the sessions, you can put your questions in the chat column. Over to you, Monica.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon and congratulations on joining this session. I really appreciate all of you who have taken your time on Saturday to make your improve your knowledge. So today's session will be focusing on basic steps from algebra and numbers. We will see some snippets from compound interest, simple interest, linear equations, and solving system of linear equations. All right. So all of you, please be ready with your handhelds because this is a session where you will do along with me. All right. So in 2 minutes, we will start. Okay. I hope you all can see my screen now. Well, that's great. All right. So as I said, we will start with very simple snippets of compound interest and simple interest as we begin the session. Okay. So TI calculator provides us with multiple options to, enable your computation process. So as we all know, there are two types of interest, that is simple interest and compound interest. Now we will see one question which is related to compound interest as we begin. Okay. So the first question says, Mia deposits rupees 4,000 in a bank account. The bank pays an annual interest rate of 6% compounded semi-annually. So if you see this semi-annually, can anyone just give in the chat box and tell me what is semi-annually? Why is it mentioned as semi-annually? Yes, semi-annually basically means you are paying in 1 year twice. It's also called as half yearly or once in 6 months. Very good. All right. Now, find the interest Mia will earn over next 2.5 years. Okay. Now, I'll just give you 2 minutes time. Whoever knows it solving using algebraic approach, that is using formula, please go ahead and just drop me the answer. Then we will get into the TI version and see what it is. All right. If you know, please put your answer in the chat box. So from this question, what can we observe? We can observe that the principal value is how much? It is rupees 4,000, right? And what else can we observe? T value. What is the T value here? 2.5 years. And N is how many times you're paying in year. So it is 2. Correct. The next, what else information we have here? We have the information of rate of interest, which is R%, that is 6. Correct? Oh, all right. Many answers are coming up. Great to see you all solving it. Okay. Now, we have a special tool in TI which is called as Finance Solver that allows you to compute compound interest questions in it. All right. Now, let's hover to the TI board. Okay. So, this is how the TI board looks for all of you, right? Now, go to a new document. And once when you go to a new document, you can see an option called Add Calculator. Got it? Please click on Add Calculator. So you're in page 1. And in this, now move to menu. You can see multiple options. Can someone figure out and tell me which option we have to go to out of those 9? Very good. It's an 8th option which talks about finance. So let's go to it. And you see the first option in that, that's called Finance Solver. All right. Now see, the first one, N is nothing but number of years. Okay. So what do we get to here? What is the information that we have to put here? It will be 2.5 times 2. Okay. So you can directly enter 2.5 times 2. Why am I entering 2.5 times 2? Because you are paying it twice in a year for 2.5 years. So it is. So automatically it becomes 5. Then the next one is I% here is nothing but interest percent. In our normal terminology, we call it as R%. Okay. So you need not convert it again back to a decimal. You can just enter it directly, which is 6% in our case. All right. Next. So what was our principal? PV here stands for principal value, which is 4,000. Okay. The next value you have is PMT, which is nothing but payments. We are not going to use it now. So let it be 0 as it is. Okay. Now, whatever you want to find, that is your future value, which is also called as interest. So now keep it as it is. Now, if you scroll down a bit, you can use tab button. You can go to the next one. Now, how many payments per year are happening? 2 times. So make it 2. And how many times the amount is getting compounded? It's getting compounded also 2 times. All right. Now, click on tab. You can go to any option you want. Now just click delete. All right. So what's happening here? It's a blank space. This blank space is provided for you so that you will be able to find the answer. Just click enter. And what do you see? It is negative 4637.096. This is your answer. Got it? So this is how you can find any missing value. It could be the number of years, or it could be the interest rate, or it could be the principal value or the future value using Finance Solver. All right. Now, guys, I have a question to you. Now, what happens if the same thing is compounded monthly? Could you all try and tell me what should I put in N, I, PV, FV, PPY, and CPY? Now, first, let's go with N. What will be my N value here? Come on, keep it coming in the chat box. I'm observing it. So it will be 2.5 times 12. All right. And what will be my I value? Which is simply 6. Then my principal value, which is 4,000. And I have to remind my PMT as 0. Then please move to PPY, CPY first. How many payments are you doing per year? It will be 12. So how many times the amount is getting compounded? It is also 12. Got it? Now please come to the FV place, delete whatever is there and press enter. Now, please tell me, what do you see there? You see negative 4645.2060, sorry. All right, now let's check with our TI. So I already have my value, so I'll just change it. So it's 2.5 times 12. And now PPY, CPY should be 12. So I have to move to my FE column, remove and check. So this is what is the answer. Some of you might have received a different answer, probably because if you're using up and down buttons automatically, just check, see if I'm using up button or down button, the PPY and CPY would change. So it's always preferred for you to use tab button so that there won't be any change in the answer. All right. Okay. So this is how you can use a function called finance solver in your TI calculator to solve any simple type of compound interest or complicated compound interest questions. All right. Now we have a small task for you. See here, a business owner wants to invest $7,000 for 8 years. All right. So there have been two plans from each bank. Let's say this is Bank A, Bank 1, and this is Bank 2. Okay. Now, the first one in account A in Bank A, what will happen? It is 3% simple interest and it's compounded. Did they mention anything about simple interest? Compounded annually or not? They have just mentioned simple interest. Okay. And the next one, account B, it's 2% interest compounded annually. Now, when we go to Bank 1, the first option A talks about simple interest, isn't it? So what is the formula for simple interest? What is the formula for simple interest? PRT by 100. Right? Then if we go to B, we can use finance solver. Also for simple interest, we can use calculator in TI. If you go to account B, what all information you have? Now let's write N. So number of years, then we have I, then we have PV, PMT, FV, PPY, and CPY. Now come on guys, quickly tell me what are these values? What could be N value for account B? So it is 8 years and they said it is compounded annually. So it's just 8 into 1, 8 years, right? What is my interest rate here? For account B, 2%. Very good. And what is my principal value? $7,000. So we'll just mention 7,000. And what should be my PMT? It lies to be 0. Okay. Now PPY and CPY, what should I place there? One. Great. Now use your calculator first and tell me what is the future value here. PMT means payments per month. They are like EMIs, okay? If your question asks for it, you can find out. Otherwise, you can leave it to be 0. So what is the answer here? PPY means how many payments you're doing per year, and CPY means how many times the amount is getting compounded. So it's negative 8201.65. Okay. Got it? All right. Now we know how much is account B giving us, and let's see the simple interest question. Okay. Now let's write down. Okay. The reason why some of the answers are in negative because you have two types of transactions in finance. One is giving or either taking. Okay, so here negative means giving, positive means taking. Got it? So for now, for compound interest, you can ignore the signs. But when you move on to the higher applications of mathematics and compound interest like loans, then you may need to have a look over it. All right. You may get little difference in the values of decimals, and that's okay. That depends upon your calculator settings, the floating values in your calculator settings. That's completely fine. All right. Now, if you go to simple interest concept, what is the principal here? 7,000. And rate of interest is 3%. And what is the time? 8 years. Right? Okay. Now, we will go to our TI. Just click Control Dock. If the screen is not going off, just click Escape, it will go off. Now go to menu. Okay. So, now what was our formula? So it is 7,000 times 3% times 8. And this should be divided by 100. So put it in brackets and divide by 100. So 1680 is your simple interest. So what is the total amount that you get? How do you calculate amount? Just add principal with simple interest. So what was the answer we got? We got 8680. All right. Now in this case, which one would be better for a business owner to choose? Will it be account A or account B for bank 1? Which account the person needs to choose? A, because it gives you more returns than that of B. Although the second part is compounding, but the interest rate is very less. That is the reason we have to go with A. Now this task is for you. Okay. Now go with bank B and please let us know which account is better to choose for the same principal value and number of years. So the first one is simple annual interest and the second one is compound interest. So in bank 2, there are some more conditions if you properly observe. So they have mentioned that $5,000 is the minimum deposit required. In that case, are we satisfying it? Yes. Bank B, the answer you got for the total amount will be $9240. Okay, similarly, please find it for compound interest using TI. So just we will write for bank 2. It would be N is equals to 8. I is again 3.6. Principal value is 7,000. PMT remains 0. FE we have to find. PPY, CPY remains 1. So what is the answer that we all got? We got 9289.15. So in this case, which one is better to choose? For bank 2, which account is better to choose? It is better to choose account B. Yeah. So that's great. Now my question to you all is, in both the banks, which account is better to choose?
Monica, there's a question from a student,
Okay.
Daksh Bafna.
Oh, yeah, I just answered it. Okay. How to find FV is very simple. When you're in your finance solver, just enter the values. Okay, now I have an example values. Please go to FV. When you move to FV, you can automatically delete using delete button here. All right. And now your space is empty. Just click enter. Automatically, you will get your answer. It's that simple. Okay. Yeah. So out of all the 4 options from 2 banks, which is the better one to choose? It is better to choose bank 2 and account B. It's not that always you have to enter one in PPY and CPY. It depends. If you're paying annually, or that means yearly ones, the PPY and CPY would be 1. If you're paying half yearly, it would be 2. If you're paying monthly, it would be 12. So depends upon the condition given in the problem. PNT basically means payments. For example, let's say you have taken a loan from a bank and you need to complete the loan by paying in every month installment, right? So in those cases, you will have to find PMT, but we do not have such situations now. So we keep it 0. All right. Yeah. So I hope we have a good understanding of how to perform compound interest on TI with using Finance Solver, which is an easy approach. All right. Now, next, let's move on to the algebraic part, that is linear models. So we all know the linear models are the basic functionalities of algebra, which are of the form y is equals to mx plus c. Correct? Can someone tell me what is m and what is c? First, let's say what is m. What does m stand for? Gradient, or it is also called as slope. So what does it mean? It means the steepness of a line. And what is y? What is c? C is y-intercept. Correct? Great. Oh, that's great. Now let's see this question. Zuanyu planted a 30 centimeter high bamboo plant in her garden bed. She found that with consistent weather, it grew 10 centimeters each day. Okay. Copy and complete this table of values, which gives the height h of bamboo after t days. So when she started, what was the size of the bamboo tree? So when t is 0, what would be the answer for my h? What will be the height value when we initially began understanding this question? It would be 30 centimeters. And every day, it's improving by 10. So next one would be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. All right. Okay. Now we have to draw the graph of h against t. So we will do this using TI now. All right. So I'll just minimize the screen so that you can see the question as well as the. One second. Okay. Now I think you can see the both. So just click escape. You will be out of this particular screen. Now go to Control Doc. In that, we have an option called Add List in Spreadsheets, which is similar to your Microsoft Excel or Google Spreadsheets, where you can have tables, rows and columns are available where you can put in your data. Now we have a data of T against H, that is the time taken for the plant to grow and the height. Just click this. So add list in spreadsheets, we are into it. Okay, now just use up button and move to A. Name this as T. So this T represents our days. All right. Next. Just come down, move to the next column and use B as H. Okay. Now let's enter the values. When T is 0, what is your Y value? It was 30. Now quickly go on entering all your T values. So it's 0 to 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now let us enter the corresponding values. So when it is 1, it was 40 centimeters. When it was 2, it was 50. When it is 3, it was 60. And when it is 4, it was 70. When 5, it was 80. And it was 6, it is 90. Right? I hope you all are able to do this. Okay. Now we have the data and we need to graph it. So click on Control Doc and you will again find multiple options to investigate. In that, please move to the 5th option which says Add Data and Statistics. This particular option is used when you want to graph the given data. So we already gave the data T with respect to H. Now let's click on it. Okay. If you see there are some random values, right? Now just use this particular tool and hover down and click. So it is asking you to choose either T or H. So we will choose T because it's an independent variable which is represented on x-axis. All right. Now you have to give your y-axis also, right? Then click and give. Can you see there is a plot, which is what we have given as data. Am I right? Okay, I'll just repeat this question. In order for you to get the, if you want to get this particular table, what you have to do is just click Control Doc and you please move to Add List in Spreadsheets. All right. Then you will be able to see a screen like this and you have to enter it. Okay. Now we have seen this, right? So again, I'll show, go to Control Doc, Add Data and Statistics, give your values. Hover the cursor from your TI screen to this and give H. So we have a graph of T against H. Now, see if you see the question, what does it ask for? It asks for graphing. And next, we also have to find a equation for this. All right. So what do we do here? We click Menu. Can you see the options? Menu, then go to Analyze. Okay. Then you will have an option to click on regression. Regression is basically an approach in mathematics where you find an equation from the data. That's what we are doing. So we had a data, we grabbed it, we want an equation for it. So now ours is a linear function, right? So click on first option. What is the equation you got? Y is equals to 10x plus 30. Okay. This is how you do it. If you want to get the equation, please go to Menu, then go to Analyze option. Under that, you see regression. Okay. Then you can find, for you all, you will be finding an option saying linear mx plus b. Just click that. I'll show it again. Analyze. regression. Yes. Then go to show linear. This is the equation you got. Okay. So, which is nothing but we got y is equals to 10x plus 30. So, what are our y value here? Y is representing the height and x is representing the t. So, just replace y and x with that. So, it will be h is equals to 10t plus 30. This is your equation for the given linear model. Okay. So we did graphing. We also found the model. Model here means finding the equation only. So please don't get confused. All right. Now next, see the question. Discuss whether it is reasonable to continue the line for t less than 0 and for t greater than 6. We cannot continue. Okay. Can we do for t less than 0? Is it possible? It is not possible, right? Can we have days in negative? It is not possible. So we cannot have any data specifically for time when it is negative. That is one of the reasons. And also, can we have t greater than 6? We may have, but we are not sure whether the tree grows continuously like that, because a living thing cannot grow continuously. There's a point at which it stops growing. So possibly after t is greater than 6, we may not have the growth. Okay. Now, next option. How long will it take for the bamboo to be 1 meter high? So what you have to do, you have to first convert this 1 meter to centimeters, because our questions are in centimeters. So 1 meter is how many centimeters? 100, right? Now just put it there. So h is equals to 10t plus 30. So 100 is equals to 10t plus 30. What will be the t value? Please solve it and tell me. T will be 7 days. This is how you can find the equation. You can use it for further solving of the question. With practice, this becomes very handy to you all. Okay. Great. Now let's move on to a question. This will be something you all will try to solve it. Okay. So again, this question is pertaining to linear functions. Okay. So they're asking us to find the model of C connecting to X. So here again, as I said, model is nothing but finding the equation. Now, in this case, we did not have any data. So what do we do when we have no data? But we have a plot. We can observe the plot, right? So what we can do is, if you can observe the plot, you can take nearest possible data values for this. Okay. Now let's find out what could be the first one here. Let's say this is A, B, C, and D. What is the nearest possible data value for this? It is 1, 2.5 or something. So let's say A is 1, 2.5. Then what is B? B could be 2, 5. And then C is 3, 7.5. And D is 4, 10. All right. Now you have all the data values. So you can use list and spreadsheets to find the answer. So please proceed. I will show it to you again. So find the model. That means find the equation. The equation will be 2.5 times x, and there is no y-intercept that you can also figure out from the graph. So for those who are not clear, I'll just repeat how we do this once again. Okay, so please go to new, add list in spreadsheets. Okay, now I have to find the data. Just give me a minute. Yeah, this is our data. So I have to find the data for x with respect to y. So just put x here, then move on to the another one and put y. So enter the corresponding values. My x values are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just use arrow buttons. It's very easy for you to hover over the screen. So corresponding value for x is equal to 1 is 2.5. Then 5. We got 7.5 and then 10. Okay. This is where you are done with entering the data. Then go on, click Control Doc and go to Add Data and Statistics. So on my x-axis, I need x variables, and on my y-axis, I need y variables. So this is how your graph looks. And when you want to find the equation, it would be menu, analyze, regression, show linear. Okay, so there is some dimension mismatch. Let's try again. Yeah. So it is y is equals to 2.5x. So this is what we got it, right? So it is. Okay. Okay. Now the next question is model exact or approximate? Explain your answer. How can we explain whether this model is exact or approximate? Is there any way to tell that? It is exact because the data values that we collected are giving you exact values. Now when I substitute, we got the equation as y is equals to 2.5x. If I substitute a in this, so 2.5 is equals to 2.5 times 1. I'm getting exact value of y for respective x values. In that case, it means my data is exact. All right. So this is such simple. Next, the last question in this one. Can the model be used to find exact cost of 12 bottles of juice? If so, find the cost. So here x represents bottles and y represents cost. So where do you plug in this 12? In x or y? In x. And what is the corresponding y value then? Which is 30. Okay, so the $30 is the cost. Okay, the process of finding anything beyond the given data is called as extrapolation. If you see, our data was able to accommodate only the information for 4 bottles, but we are finding beyond 4 bottles, that is 12 bottles. That is called as extrapolation. Okay. If you're finding anything within the given data, for example, if I ask you to find for 2 bottles, that is called as intrapolation. Okay. I hope you're clear with this. Now we'll move on to one more concept in algebra, that is system of linear equations, or also called as simultaneous equations. Okay. Now see this. There are 2 types of plants. That is, one is hostas and another one is daylilies. Okay, for $193 it seems. Now let's see the context. You buy 8 hostas and 15 daylilies for $193. Your friend buys 3 hostas and 12 daylilies for $117. Okay, now there's a very simple way to solve this question, which will not take more than 3-4 minutes using TI. But for that, from this question, first we have to derive the mathematical equations. Okay, now let us consider hostas to be x, and then we'll consider daylilies to be y. So what will our first equation be? 8x plus 15y is equals to 193. All right. And what is our other equation? 3x plus 12y is equals to 117. So these are the both equations for two friends. Am I right? Okay. Now let's see how we can solve this in TI. Now I'm just closing the screen. Go to new document and then go to add calculator. And then please move to menu. In this, can you see an option called the third option, which says algebra? In that, move to solve system of linear equations. And how many equations do we have? We have two equations. So one is x and one is y. Two variables are there, which is x and y. So we'll have two equations. Just click OK. Now just enter the equation. So what we have? We have 8x plus 15y is equals to 193. The next equation is 3x plus 12y is equals to 117. Okay. And you see whatever you see in those curly brackets, that means you're trying to find it. And linsolve is a command which says solving linearly. Come out of this brackets and press enter. Now what do you see? X represents 11 and y represents 7. Okay, so that means the cost of each hosta is how much? $11, and the cost of each daylily is $7. This is an easiest way to solve any linear equation. Okay. Now we'll have a small task for you. We will add another flower. Let it be sunflower. Okay. Which represents Z, let's say. Now I would say 8 hostas, 15 daylilies, and 12 sunflowers, becoming $300. All right. This is for person 1. And for the friend, we will add 10 sunflowers. And the total cost becoming $250. Now, please tell me what could be our equations. So for the first person, we have added a flower, 12 sunflowers, and the total now changed to be we can also do this by graphing. I'll show it to you. Okay, now there will be so what will happen here? So it will be 8x plus 15y plus 12z is equals to 300. Then the next one will be 3x plus 12y plus 10z is equals to 250. But there is an error in this question. What is an error? When you have 3 variables, what are the minimum required equations that you need to get? 3 equations. So what we'll do, we'll just add one more equation and see how we can solve system of linear equations in 3 variables. Let's say we have another friend, okay, who buys 10 hostas, 10 daylilies, and 10 sunflowers for $220, let's say. Now, what will be my third equation here? It will be 10x plus 10y plus 10z is equals to 220. All right. Now, solving 3 system of linear equations by algebraic method, you have to bring them to 2, then solve it, then find one variable, substitute another, and solve it. It is a little time-taking process, isn't it? So now we will see what we can do using TI. Again, go to menu, algebra, solve system of linear equations. Now, please replace it with 3 and click OK. So we'll have to enter 3 equations. So what is our first equation? 8x plus 15y plus 12z is equals to is equals to 300. And the next equation would be 3x plus 12y plus 10z is equals to 250. Yeah. And the next one would be 10x plus 10y plus 10z is equals to 220. Right? So all the equations are right. Please check once and then come out of this brackets and click enter. So you got answers x, y, z. But if you see x value came out to be negative, is it possible for the cost to be negative? No. Okay. So what you can do is when you have 4 variables or 5 variables or 6 variables, it's very easy to solve using linsolve command. Got it? Okay. Now, some of you may ask me, how do we solve 2 system of linear equations using a graphing tool, right? Now, let's take these 2 equations, okay? The first 2 equations. Now, make y as subject. Let this equation be A and this equation be B. So, make y as subject. So, what is it? If it is 8x plus 15y is equals to 193. How do I make y as subject? So y is equals to 193 minus 8x divided by 15, correct? This is my first equation, which is A. Y is also called as function of x, which is f of x. Then move to the second equation. Please tell me, how can I write second equation making y as subject? So it's 117 minus 3x divided by 12. This is function 1 of x and this is function 2 of x. Am I right? Now what we'll do is we'll go to the graphing option here. So click Control Dock and now you need add graphs. So if you see the function, it says f1 of x, right? So what is my f1 of x? So if you see here beside 9, there are many options that you can click, isn't it? Just click that and you see you can get a fraction option. Click here. So in my numerator, I'll write 193 minus 8x divided by 50 and click enter. Okay. You did not see the graph, right? Because it's not in the domain of what you see in the screen. The domain of this particular one, the range and domain of this particular one for x value lies from -10 to 10. And for y ranges from -6 to 6. So what you have to do when you can't see anything, click on menu, go to window or zoom option, and then use an option called zoom fit. Now you can see the graph. Okay. Now I want to enter my second function. So what you have to do is just click tab button. Tab will give you f2 of x. So what is my f2 of x? Again, I'll use fraction tool. It's very easy. 117 minus 3x divided by 12. See? So my red color represents second equation and my blue color represents first equation. Okay. Now you can click on the screen and move it. Like how I am doing, you also can do it. Just hold it and move it and leave it. Now I see some intersection here. All right. So I want to find where it is. Then click menu, go to analyze graph, and then go to intersection. Now for intersection, I have to give the boundaries. So this is a slide you can move. So I've put here, just click and then move and stop it somewhere. So what is the intersection I got? 11,7. And if you remember, while we solved it using linsolve command also, we got the same answers, 11,7. Click here, I meant to use this particular button, the hand button. Okay. All right. Now, we will do a simple equation again for those who are not here. So again, control doc, we will do a different function this time. Control doc, add graph. So my first equation would be just x plus 3, simple equation I'm taking. So the black line represents my simple equation, that is x plus 3. Again, tab option. Then my next equation would be x plus 2, let's say. Okay. So what happened? Can I see any intersection for these both graphs? No. Why are we not able to see any intersection here? Because the lines are parallel. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just rechange my value. Then I'll put, if I want to rechange my value, what I can do is I can just press tab and up button. Okay. So I will rechange my value of the equation which was supposed to be x plus 3 to x. Click enter. Now also can I see? We can't. Okay. Again, I will show you another example. Press tab, click up button, you can change. So I'll give 2x plus 5. Now I can see somewhere there is an intersection for this both graphs. I want to find where it is. So click menu, analyze graph, go to intersection and give the boundaries. So what is the intersection? It is -2, 1. Okay. So this is how you can either do it using linsolve command from the calculator, or you can do it using graphing option. Got it? Now we will see few inequalities. We'll just see 2-3 inequalities on how to solve it using graph. So control, doc, add graph. Now this equation you have to remove. Inequalities is not equation, right? So just click, delete, and now it will give you multiple inequalities to do. So I want to do y greater than 2. Just click it, you will get it. So y greater than 2 means every value above 2. Okay. If I want to give one more equation, inequality, so like when you click again tab, it will give you a space to enter. So just click, use this particular QWERTY keypad here and put y less than 2x. So can you see the two inequalities are here? Now I want to find what is the intersection point here. Okay. Same options again, go to menu, analyze graph, intersection, give the boundaries. So these both graphs intersect at a point 1, 2. This is how. If at all you're not finding the less than symbol or greater than symbol, just click control is equals to. You will have multiple options to choose. So it's just control is equals to. The tab key is here above the control button. Okay. We will do another one. So again, we will do one more inequality. Control, doc. Add graphs. So if you want to give linear inequality, just first click delete button. When you delete, it will give you an options to choose. So y less than or equals to, y less than, y equals to, y greater than, you can give. So I want to choose y greater than or equals to 5, let's say. So I have a graph which shows y greater than or equals to 5. All right. Now I want to give one more inequality. Then what I'll do? I'll just click tab. So now I want to give y less than. So for that less than button, what you can do, just click control, this options, you'll get less than, greater than, and all of that. So y less than 3. See, y greater than 5 is showing up and y less than 3 is showing you down in pink color. So they will not have any intersections. So this is how you can also solve multiple linear inequalities and find intersection points, or you can observe what is the common area all the linear inequalities are sharing. So this is how you can perform. All right. So with this, we can call it for a session. I hope you all have enjoyed. You have liked it.
Hassan, you can unmute all the students. So if they have any questions, they can ask to Monica.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining. I'm just unmuting everyone. If you have any question, just ask. Okay.
Ma'am, how can we move the graph?
Okay. When you see on your screen, can you see a hand button?
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
Now come here and just click for long. It shows like hand is closed, isn't it? You have this button, right?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Click for long.
Yeah.
Does it show like it is molded?
Yeah, got it.
Now you can move up and down. If you want to release back, again click that button.
Oh,
That's how you can move the screen.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all the students. It's been really nice, and you have been very active on the chats. That's great.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you. Wonderful session today. And
Thank you,
students,
Vasu.
I just want to update you that after today, we will have another session, which will be after next Saturday, like alternate days. So for you, the next session will be on the 9th October. Okay. So keep in touch with us. We will be mailing you for the next session, and the recording will be shared with you on YouTube. We have our YouTube channel. So let me just give you the link to the YouTube channel where we will upload our video. And for past videos also, you can refer to our YouTube page. We have a lot of videos updated on our YouTube page. You can go there and you can check our. So I'm just giving you the link to the YouTube page. Just subscribe the channel so that whenever next video uploaded in the channel, you will get the notification. Okay. And thank you all for joining today's session.